All right, so
I have to give you a little bit of credit for this.
Yeah, we can overdub it later. Just
I haven't had any crazy stories about. Oh wait, no, I do. I got robbed at gunpoint, mugged.
Checking for me, but I ain't checking for them. No.
sleazy real estate guys. But
The biggest investment you'll ever make will be the one that you make in yourself. My name is EMILIO, and you may have seen me as a host of VP podcast where we cover various topics and conversations with entrepreneurs. For the past 2 years, I've been running a personal development organization that covers 4 areas: health, wealth, love, and happiness. At Apex, we host events and workshops that help individuals improve on these areas through various activities, networking opportunities, and educational sessions. Every year, we host our flagship event, our Super Bowl of events, the Summer Summit. Over the span of a weekend, we foster personal and professional growth in a dynamic and engaging environment. In 2022, we did Lewis Beach, Delaware. 2023, we did Tampa, Florida. And this year, 2024, we will be doing Atlantic City, New Jersey. Participants will have the opportunity to delve into key areas: health, wealth, love, happiness, through expert-led sessions and activities. The event will include gourmet meals, vibrant evening socials, and luxury accommodations, all to ensure a holistic and enriching experience. Whether you're looking to enhance your leadership skills, gain strategic insights, or build meaningful relationships, the Summer Summit is a unique opportunity for you to transform your life and connect with like-minded individuals. Look, the year will be over before you know it, and most people go several years without ever investing in themselves. This is an opportunity for you to not be most people. So take a chance. Come this August 23rd through the 25th to Atlantic City, New Jersey, to the Summer Summit at the Claridge Hotel, and grow with us. Bye-bye.
all right, so ladies and gentlemen, you may have seen episode 1. If you haven't already, please do, of Jim Aure, who is with us once again to continue to tell us a story. When we first had him, he was telling us about coming from the Philippines to the U.S. and essentially becoming one with the country and what is known to be the land of opportunities and building his own opportunities. So, Jim, thank you again for doing this with us.
Absolutely.
When we
Man.
last left off, you were telling us about your time at Razor and how the year of growth you had there.
Yeah, man. It was like I said, man.
Before we do that, though, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more episodes to come.
The amount of growth that I experienced watching all these amazing barbers that I work with there. To see like all these techniques, trends. It was an eye opener for me, and my wife really encouraged me. Please give Razor's Edge a try. Why haven't you? Because like I said, there's a part of me that was afraid of changes, and like I said, leaving the comfort of a college town, was hard because you were pretty much handed a client that's just walking by that might go in just because you were there.
Yeah.
But focusing on building my chair for that 1 year at Razors was an eye opener for me, man.
Yeah.
That I didn't have to rely on, pretty much relying on weather. Because if the weather's crappy, people won't go out. You won't see walk-ins or you won't see college students. They're in their dorm.
Yeah.
Locals will be in their home. Like, for instance, look at how crappy our weather was August 9th, right? It's been raining all day, but I somehow filled 15 clients in my chair that day.
Yeah.
Because instead of waiting on those old walk-in type of barbershop, I built my chair to, no matter what the season is, it's full.
Yeah.
And like I said, I learned that from
But
them.
that didn't happen out of nowhere. That was how many years?
That's the accumulation to 17 years.
17 years.
17 years of me trying, the trial and error, the messed up haircuts.
Some people, they grow frustrated in the first year. Some in the 5.
I was.
I mean, yeah, like you said. But in the 10, and what I hear a lot with a lot of successful people is that what makes them from being not successful to successful is that they end up quitting right before they became successful.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
So you had your year at Razor, and then something happened. Something happened that eventually got you into the next stage of your life.
It was more of my wife's encouragement. My wife played a vital role to where I'm at today. Like what they always say, right? They always know best. And she did. And she gave me the nudge of, I'm like, hey, we have enough. Give it a try.
Yeah.
And my thoughts at the time were, man, it took me so long to get to that. Now I'm about to cough it up just like that.
Yeah.
There was a part of me that was really, really nervous. But she gave me the whole, you can do it, right? I'm like, my wife's my biggest fan, man, and I could not be really any more happier with her. Like she's my rock.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing is when we first opened this.
Well, specifically, your wife supported you and encouraged you to start your own business.
Yes.
Which is now Jim's Cuts.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Sophia.
there you go. Shout out Sophia. So
she's her.
there you go. There you go. And that's how, that's how, we got raised in here too. I get to come here every time and get a good haircut. But yeah, how was that? So how was that start?
While I was at Razors, it felt like my wife and I were really just looking for a place, because it felt like at the time we were in the middle of COVID, right? But by 2021, it felt like it was starting to, okay, everything's opening up. And I think we took advantage of all these. There was a lot of empty places during at the time because people were closing their businesses. So leases were up for grabs at the time, but we were looking for the most like economical, like lease that's gonna fit what I'm looking for. I didn't want anything too big, but I didn't want it to be too small. And when I found this place, shout out to my landlord, Eric Schwab. I decided to just look him up. I found him, I messaged him, and it was like, I know what you want. He was easy. And he remembered me because his son and him was actually former clients of mine when I was at U.S. Mail.
There you go.
I didn't have a clue that I'd build a connection with them.
Yeah.
And he's been my landlord now going into 3 years. I've been in this barbershop 3 years, which is, I was shocked that. Like I said, the 16-year-old me wouldn't believe this. Coming from where I came from, what I've experienced, this was like I said, this is, I wouldn't call it my life's work. It's more my wife's work. Like I said, a big part of it really was her pushing me, because if she didn't push me, this wouldn't be here. I probably still would be at Razor's Edge if she didn't push me enough. Because I enjoyed the simplicity of me handing somebody a chair rent. Because I felt like that was my responsibility and that was it. I didn't care what anybody else was doing in there. I went in, went through with my book, went home.
Yeah. So walk me through signing on the dotted line and then getting the keys.
And I actually skipped a pretty good part, because I think outside of my wife pushing me, we had our first kid at the time. My older daughter, Kaylee. I looked at her, I'm like, I know I could be more. And my wife keep telling me that you can be more. Next thing you know, 2 kids later, a bunch of years later, my younger daughter, Penny, was born. And now that I own my own business, right, the fact that I can actually manipulate my schedule because I want to be home with them and I can is amazing. It's the old...
How important is that flexibility to you?
Oh, very. Young man over there would tell you how stingy I am with my schedule. And... I get in and out. I don't play. And yeah, man, the flexibility of the whole, being your own boss, literally. Even he has that flexibility too. The fact that when he got here, he had his own schedule.
Yeah.
He had his own book. He had his own prices. Same exact thing as me. And it was important to me because I was neglected, and I'm not about to do that. My father neglected me, right? As a father, I wouldn't neglect my daughters. Hell no. They really do come first. As much as I love this business, they do. I do it for them, really. And that's what really encouraged me was my wife pushing it, and then I have a growing family, and I know I have to be there for them.
Yeah.
And I said, man, it really is. I'd like to say that. You have kids?
I do not know.
When
Not
you do,
yet.
when
Not
you
yet.
do, right? My kids' generation and yours are the luckiest ones, if you ask me, because I believe they're living in the most comfortable time of our civilization right now. I feel like it, at least, because when I was growing up back at home to when I got here, it felt like it hasn't peaked yet. It felt like just something was missing, right? Mm-hmm. And the fact that we went from dial-up modems to now the internet is in our hands is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The fact that people could just book their haircuts without having to call a business is crazy. I remember people have to go to the barbershop and write it on a book to be booked. To calling the shop, hey, do you have any opening? To now, it's literally, that's how convenient our life is right now, at least in America.
Yeah.
Because I know there's parts of where I'm from that's still on that third world suburban.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So when you walked into this place, the first time is obviously to check it out. And then
we kind of knew that we were going to take it right off the bat.
so when you finally got the keys, what was that feeling like? And you walked in now not as someone that's
it felt like it was just another start.
okay.
I felt like it wasn't the end game. It was just another start because I'm starting a business. Right? This is it's like my first time,
Yeah. What was step number one?
We met with the landlord.
Once you got the place.
Once we got the place, it's just the installation of everything. My contractor and my friend Andy did everything for me. He said that I'm not gonna make your place look like IKEA. So everything that he built there was from actual wood, hardwood, and he, as you can see, the designs on my my drawers he put on pipes. So he kind of gave it like an industrial look, feel to it.
Yeah.
So everything was built there from scratch. And he had an idea, and I wasn't about to think. I'm like, you know what? You do you. I know you're going to make it look cool.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, yeah, I guarantee you he will. And
Yeah.
we were very happy with what he did for me.
Yeah. So walk me through having one chair to now what I believe you have five?
We have 5, yeah.
Yeah,
including
5.
me.
So walk me through
Oh,
one through number
man,
5.
first year was kind of rough because I was here by myself. Like the first 6, maybe 7 months of it. I had one hiree, but he didn't last very long. Because whatever his vision was, he had a vision for himself. He didn't want to work for someone anymore, so he was kind of treating my place like it was his. And something, I didn't see eye to eye with him. Plus, I was a brand new owner at the time. My patience was thin. I just told him, yeah, you really, you're not what I'm looking for. He left. Now this guy is, I don't have any malice against him. He's very successful now. He has his own studio, and I think he was suited more to work for himself.
Yeah.
Which worked out for him. But for about half a year, I was by myself in this place running. It was a one-man show. It was an empty shop. It was just me. And then my friend James, who's here with me now, he was my first hiree. And then Mills came along. And the funny thing about Christian over there is one of the clients recommended him to me.
Okay.
And he's kind of funny. He slid on my DMs. This guy right here.
Yeah.
And the saddest part is I didn't see the DM till 2 weeks later. I felt so bad.
You made him work for it.
And then I didn't even know I was making him work for it. That was the sad part.
He's blushing. He's blushing.
Nah, I felt bad because when he told me when I finally did get a hold of him, he said he left his bang job. He put in his 2 weeks notice. I'm like, damn. I'm like, you didn't even wait for me to respond, dude.
Dang. I don't know if you know, but when he came on the podcast, he was telling us that he hopes that in the future he's able to move on from his day job and pursue barbering full time. And we were able to record that before it happened. And then
Here he
sure
is.
enough.
Yeah. Because I felt so bad when that happened. I'm just like, man, I'm like, he left. When he finally told me when he got here, I'm like, yeah, man, I left my job. I was mobile barbering. I'm like,
He thought it was a fake profile.
I thought it was one of those scams.
Because I wrote to him professionally.
It felt like one of those Middle Eastern scams.
Okay. Oh, okay. Do you remember what he said to you?
I think I might still have it on the phone.
It seemed very professional, and he just felt like it was.
Felt wrong.
Oh, really? It was that good?
But then he saw the
I started just looking at his page. I'm like, okay, this could be a real person.
Yeah.
mutual.
Yeah.
And then I had mutual friends with him. He was friends with one of my clients, Alex.
Okay.
And his cousin, Michi. And after I hired him, I ended up
But
I
at
ended
that
up-
point, you're on chair number 2, or
Christian was chair number 3.
okay,
Because when he got here, James left for a little bit, and then he came back.
Okay.
And then after that, I had Cody. So that's when it became the full 5 right there.
okay.
And it's been 5 since a year now.
It's okay.
for a year. It took me 2
of
years
the three of the three.
Of the three, it took me 2 years to fill up the shop full.
Okay. Okay.
And it's been nice, man. It's not perfect. There's bickering here and there, but
Yeah.
I look at these guys, man. From a kid that experienced poverty to at one point in his life even experienced homelessness, to sleeping in park benches and drinking from public fountains, traveling halfway across the world, giving it a shot, going against my mom's wishes at the time, to now, owning a business for going into 3 years is insane, man.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. It's a life-changing one for me because I never thought I would be able to provide for 3 people that I'm responsible for. My wife and my kids.
Yeah. Not only that, but you're also giving a space for people to pursue their craft in there too.
Oh yeah, Aure is an amazing barber. He kind of shocked me when he first got here because he said that, oh yeah, I've mobile cut, but I've never cut in a barbershop. And the way he handled it, I was like, oh, to me, I think this guy's lying to me.
Okay.
He lying to me. Yeah, he already had his own set of clientele.
Yeah.
He worked on his own schedule. He built it from whatever he was picking up from here. To when I'm too busy, some of my clients did move on to him, which I'm glad because I would rather, when I'm too busy and, I've made some changes in my book, I would rather some of the clients, I would never put it on them. He would even tell you. I would never put it on them when they move. If you're going to move on from me, move on to one of my guys. I would prefer that because you're still kind of helping me by helping my other barbers in here. You know what I mean? You know that. And I'm glad that they're doing that because I'm not going to be the type of guy, man, where I sit in this chair.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of barber. I'm not one of those Instagram barbers.
Right. Oh, okay. What do you mean by that?
So there's this big beef between these Florida barbers, Professor Miracle Wrist and this guy Filthy Blends. They have this online beef that's just too much.
Okay.
I feel like they're in their 20s the way they beef, dude. It's the insulting that I move my wrist better than his
Oh.
type of deal.
Okay. All right. So tell me about, because now not
And they
only
just got a free shout out.
hey, now you're not only the level of barber you are, but you're also a business owner. So that in itself is a whole complication. So tell me what does that look like in terms of the culture you provide for your staff or for your teammates here, or the logistics of it. Tell me a little bit
Craziest
about
thing
that.
about the barbering I provide for them is pretty much your stereotypical American barbershop, dude. They pay their chair rent, and they pretty much just go along with what they need to do for their clients. My focus for them is literally, it's just a place to work for them, really. I mean, but it is a tight-knit family I have in here. Because I have a feeling this 5 years now.
So how do you turn a place into a family though? Because that's a certain culture. How do you build that?
That's a tough one because we've had kind of a doozy here and there, right?
That's part of family, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you not only how do you establish that, but how do you overcome those family-like arguments when they happen?
I mean, I try to sit them down sometimes. Sometimes I would just call them. And it was one of those, like, it's pretty much just talking it out. It's, I hate to say it, but it's the man's man thing. Try to talk to them. There will always be someone else's fact and opinion in it.
Can you just make sure? Sorry.
And it would there was always be someone's fact and opinion in it, but to me it doesn't matter. I'm like, it's one of the most it's almost very free to work in here. I mean, like I said, he would tell you the fact from the scheduling point of view to how long he even stays here. So
Because I
mean, during the
noticed
day-
even you trust your barbers to be here even when you're not here.
Yeah.
Which I've seen that's not the case in some other barbershops.
It's more of the reason why I trust them to be here is because they're managing their own book. Right? So if you're not here, then how are you gonna make whatever you need to make for yourself?
Right.
Right? Because I trust you that at least you're not gonna burn my barbershop down, right? I mean, to me, it's just more of I gave them the freedom to the same thing I had at Razor's Edge pretty much. As long as I pay my chair rent, I have access to the place. Like it was that simple. You kind of just really get to be your own boss. I'm not gonna give them the why he left the bank. the corporate
Yeah.
feeling. Well,
Yeah.
you got to be here 9 to 5 and you got to cut
Yeah.
this much. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that to them.
Yeah. So how do you not become a micromanager?
Pretty much leave them alone because they manage their own book. Because they manage their own book, they manage their own time, they manage their own schedule. It's more of I'm not even really trying to teach them a lesson. It's more of they just do what they need to do for themselves, really. That's it. And even he knows when you need something, just try to talk to me. And
Yeah.
if I have an answer, I'll say something, or if I have it, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm not the most selfish person for that. I mean, if somebody needs something,
Yeah. Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. Okay. So tell me what some of our, because now you've been in it for 3 years. You have 5 chairs. What has been the most challenging thing for you so far as the owner of Jim's Cuts?
Finagling with my schedule personally.
Okay.
Because I would have weeks of fluctuation. They would kind of say something to me like, "Man, I ain't seen you all day." Right? I ain't seen you all day. Where you been? I'm like, cutting. Because the fluctuation of clientele, sometimes my book, the way I fill it up, it does fill up like crazy. And there would be days where I would actually give up my lunchtime to some customers because that's how busy it gets.
Okay.
And it's not managing them, it's managing what my what
Yeah.
my day would be like. Which is not even really that hard. It's
Yeah.
just figuring out what my schedule is gonna look like that day, especially on holidays. It's more of a kind of like a self thing for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because here and there they would ask me, how do you do this or how do you do that? It feels simple. Barbering is one of those jobs where he'll even tell you what I'm about to tell you. It doesn't feel like a job.
I was about to say, it's almost like you guys are just like almost like sharing the space.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like more your traditional. It's like you gotta check it with boss for this, check it with boss for that. check it
Yeah, I
with
don't
boss for
even,
that.
the fact that, hey, I'm like, they in a sense, they have their own cash register, if you will, because, nothing really goes to me with what they do through the day unless you wanted it to be a commission-based barber, which I don't encourage. Because commission-based barbering, there's not a lot of, like, money flow in that.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're a chair rental barber, you have a flat rate, you need to pay the guy, and then pretty much it's an open space for you. The same exact culture I was at Razor's Edge, because that's how they did it. They gave you a key to the place,
Yeah.
and and you paid it a certain amount of chair, and then you get to work as much
Okay.
as you need or as you want.
Okay. So tell me, so you filled up 5 chairs. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but it looks like you have the place pretty filled up.
Yeah.
Are you looking at scale? Are you
No,
like where you
no,
are?
I like where I'm at. I'm not. It felt like if I go for a bigger place, and you do have to manage it because certain personalities finally come into play. I think 4 people working with me, I would never call them working for. They work with me. They're working with me. It's a bit easier.
Yeah.
It's a tight knit group that it's just us. It's kind of easier to talk with.
Yeah.
Versus when you have 11 chairs, you're like, oh, that's too many
Yeah,
people, and next
yeah.
thing you know, too much clashes. Because one of the experiences I had with Razor's Edge, there were I had some coworkers over there. They really did bicker out throughout the day, and it's like, how are you bickering in such a big place? He's at the other side. I feel like this smaller group is a little bit better than
Yeah.
what a big group would be.
Right.
It's not a lot less to manage. There's nothing to manage, pretty much.
And another thing I wanted to go into, you mentioned earlier about there's a little bit of a beef happening in Florida with barbers and social media. So just tell me about social media in general and barbering today, because you've been in the game for a while, and I'm sure in terms of social media, it's not what it used to be.
It really isn't, but I felt like I stayed pretty old school with it. Unless I'm gonna shout out my friend Brima Kamara. Unless there's a big boxing match, I'm strictly barbering in my page. I do a daily post of just reminding everybody, hey, book up.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
here and there, I would post some
Yeah.
of my work, and
Yeah.
I love to post family stuff. Doing things with my kids, doing things with my wife. I'm on that department. I'm pretty plain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I keep it very what do y'all call it? Pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
It's basic.
Okay. So is that something, do you think that in the world where everybody's so social media, people should maybe keep more traditional, or for like a one
I
that's
think-
up and coming?
I think it's personal. I think social media it's got a very, very personal touch. It really depends on what you really want to do with it. like I said, even me, sometimes I would get off the professional thing and I would rant to Brima. That me and him are gonna go back and forth for hours.
Yeah.
There's still that
Yeah.
kid in me
Right,
kind of
right,
wants
right,
to
right.
do that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for me, like I said, I'm not a traditionalist, but to me, it's like I really just keep it simple. You know, I'm kind of really off my trolling days now because I used to troll a lot. And so I got blocked last year by Errol Spence Jr.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
The fighter.
the fighter.
Oh my jeez.
2.9 million followers on Instagram. He decided to block a dude that doesn't even follow him in Newark, Delaware.
What would you do?
Predicted his demise.
Ooh.
Spoken into existence, actually, because going into sports, this is the other side of me that what I love about America is it's the sports culture, right? From you know, with me and him with football, basketball, boxing, and MMA, like these were the things I never got to. I think this is why there's still this childlike person in me when it comes to this, because I never really got to be a kid with my friends like this back in the Philippines. If you can even call them friends, but classmates,
Yeah.
right? And meeting Brima was an eye. I never really got to bicker with anybody like that. He likes to test me.
Yeah.
Per se. And going back to the whole Errol Spence thing was the long story short of this. The long story short of the whole Errol Spence thing was, you know, I've always rooted for Terrence Crawford, but so did Brima. But there's this side of me that sometimes, you know, Brima would tell you he's one of the most knowledgeable boxing fans you'll ever meet. But there's this side of Jim, and when he doesn't like you, he simply doesn't like you.
Yeah.
You know, and I would bash Errol Spence and Brima would defend him. It got to the point where, okay, so that's your car in the race, then you're Errol Spence's guy, and you know, I'm Terrence Bud Crawford's guy. And it went on for 5 years.
Oh man.
From that 5 years to the week of the fight, right? For 5 years, Brima would just post, oh, look at Errol Spence's footwork. He would place his foot here. It's effective. It would work. It'll knock Terrence Crawford out. I'm like, my guy.
Yeah.
I was just telling him, I'm like, you don't need an expert to see who Errol Spence already has me blocked. I hope he sees this.
Yeah.
Right?
Came to block. I was like, man, I thought I had him blocked. I still gotta see his ass.
But to me, what I saw with Errol Spence's game, going objective with it, was what I thought of Errol Spence when I saw him. This is just a weight bully that's literally bigger than everybody in the division, who's only fought at one division with one dimension. Errol Spence's game is jab, come forward, body, and if the head opens, he hits it. That's literally, if you watch all of his fights and you would break it down, that's what you see. Because he's been fighting with such size advantage, right? He really didn't know what it's like to be in there with somebody either his size or bigger than him.
Yeah.
And when the Spence Crawford saga went on, right, the argument was Bud is too small because he at the time was a bit. He just got out of 135. And they had their little backroom meeting. Spence and Bud really got to bicker it out for the first time. They were in the back room. And I remember Bud, 5 years, 6 years now, but 5 years from their fight was, you know what they're going to say when I stop you? That you was too weak. And, you know, you were weight drained. Even he predicted the excuse that the guy used.
Yeah.
Right, but going back to that, you know, me and Brima were bickering for 5 years. And I started a campaign.
Yeah.
It's a hashtag called Bud in 8. That Terrence Crawford was going to finish this guy at round 8. And I said that for 5 years. I didn't stop. Every time he tagged me on something, I would just respond, hashtag Bud in 8.
Yeah.
And I kind of got tired of it because he just kept tagging me. Like I said, I told him, look up your receipts. You tagged me. But there were weeks that I did initiate it just to get him going.
Yeah.
And I just needed to make sure the psychological game was I would take bad bets to make sure he takes Errol Spence for this fight. So I blew that thing up like a bad batch of coffee for 5 years, man.
Yeah. So let me bring us back here a little bit to the business here. So for someone that, you know, comes into this country, or maybe that was already born into this country, that, you know, wants to pursue the art of barbering and wants to take it to the level of where you are now, what is the biggest 3 headers you could give them?
I'll start with being an open book. Because barbering is an industry where, even till this day, at 17 years, and I have my guy, Mills, who's been in the game 20-something, that you do learn something new every day. Not every month, not every week. No, there's something every day that you're gonna pick up on someone or something online. Like I said, to me, the biggest advantage of social media is I love seeing what other people do with how they work a certain clip or a certain
Yeah.
trim or a certain race. Like you do pick up the little niches here and there. Be an open book, because that's really where it all starts. If you're not willing to learn, then it's that long mile becomes even longer. That first mile that I was telling, it
Yeah.
becomes longer when you're not an open book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Know your weaknesses, because I feel like you should tackle that first. The same way I did. I was too afraid of the sheer
Yeah.
side of barbering. So I felt like, okay, I need to put time in that. Hence why I did what I did with the salon. So be an open book. And after the skill part,
Be an open book. Know your weaknesses. Turn them to strengths. And then what would be a third one?
to me, it's more of it's the oldest advice in the book. When you're in the client's presence and they're pretty much, you be professional, man. Because that's a lot of thing that, with my clientele that's been with me, they would tell you, I'm like, Jim, Jim's a character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jim's a character. They would tell you that. But, when I meet new clients, they see it. And I've also gotten to the point where now that I'm a family man, when families would come in there, I try to really do tone it down. So do be professional, because that's how you get people to stay. And once they're comfortable with you, you do get to be the whole camaraderie and even
Yeah.
be friends with them.
Right.
So those are the three things for me that has really helped me out in the last 17 years. Still helping me till this day,
Okay.
17 years and counting.
There you go. So another question, one last question I want to ask you, and this might go into something else, but
Yeah,
I'll
go ahead.
shoot. Is the American dream still alive?
Oh, very. To me, it's a lie, because I'm currently living it, man. I never thought that I would have what I have, considering where I came from the life experiences. Because I thought, from my upbringing alone, really could bring a person down. And like I said, the way my dad was, he really didn't make it easy, man. He made it very, very challenging and difficult for my mom. My mom was a single mom raising us. She was trying. To put a little bit more details into that, my mom left the Philippines to raise us because as a teacher, my mom's passion is teaching. She's always been an educator.
Yeah.
There was no money to be made in the Philippines as an educator. It's one of the most respected jobs, but the paycheck doesn't reflect it. So the choice, my mom had to make a hard choice. She ended up going to Japan to teach in Jose, I think Jose International High School. She was an English teacher. And obviously the pay was more substantial. My mom was able to provide the life that she thinks me and my sister deserved. Just simply because we were her kids.
Yeah.
You know, and
Do you think a 16-year-old Jim could come to the country today and strive as much as you have now?
I don't see why not, because I feel like
Because there's a lot of people that are saying the American dream is dead or is dying.
I mean,
What do you have to say to
I
them?
think personally, it's an experience. You gotta experience it, I think, because considering, like I said, comparing it to where I was at to where I am, I hate to say it, I love the people that did take care of me, that took care of me, my grandmother and all that. But comparing to what it was to what it is now, it really is that there's that heaven and hell comparison. Because my life experiences then, like I said, people really. Now let me ask you a question: who are these people that's saying that the American dream is it the Americans?
Typically.
Y'all are wrong. Because these are the best 18 years of my life,
Yeah.
including even the current. We're currently at right now. Christian sees it.
Yeah.
Bill sees it. James sees it. Cody sees it. Look, I'm at the happy. I'm actually at the happiest I've ever been. I'm with my daughters. I'm with my wife. Me and my mom we're reconnecting. I see my stepfather all the time now. I don't see why the American dream is dead because it's alive and well, at least from where I'm standing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Because how many people actually can say that, not everyone can say that, man, I've given 4 individuals opportunity to work on what they like to do.
Yeah.
Can you really call that dead?
Right. Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it's alive and well. Some people just don't see it because there's that, it's always been in front of them. So they're overlooking it. I'm
Yeah.
coming from a point of view of I came from here and then I went here.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why I see it a little differently. It's somebody told me it's that immigrant mindset.
Yeah.
Because although I am an American citizen now, I think there's that immigrant in me is still in there. I think that's the main reason why I see it alive and well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think it's dead. It's
Would you say,
it's more on those looking at it.
yeah, would you say not only perspective, but also maybe people are being ungrateful of what they have in front of them?
Not ungrateful. It's more of they're taking it for granted.
Taking it for granted. Okay. Well,
Because you're at an aspect of your life, you're so used to just having it. It's just there, and you don't know what it's like not to have it.
yeah.
Like I said, man, can you imagine in America where you have, if you're a homeless person, right, you have a chance at government housing. You have food stamps. You have Medicaid. Right? You have all these things that the government is at least trying to provide to whatever their best of abilities, because that's a whole different topic what the government can and should provide, right?
Yeah.
But there is something comparing it to where I'm from. There's when you're zero, you're zero. There's
Yeah.
absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Jim, where can we find you?
What do you mean by working?
Social media.
Oh, at that Filipino barber.
That Filipino barber location of your barbershop?
My location is also there. 501 Capitol Trail, Newark, Delaware.
And any closing message to the people that are going to see this episode?
I mean, do not take America granted while it's still here. Because we actually don't know how long it's going to last. Maybe our lifetime won't see the demise of it. And I'm hoping my daughter's lifetimes don't see the demise of it. But really don't take it for granted, because what I get to say this now, what we have over here comparing to what others have out there. I mean, I know it's not Geneva, Switzerland, right? But it's better than Pasay City, Philippines.
Well,
Because Pasay City is not trying to prolong it, is a big part of Pasay in the Philippines. It's squatters area. You think the guys we have here homeless is homeless? One day, me and you will take a trip to the Philippines. I'll show you what being homeless is like.
okay.
Hopefully, that same park bench I slept in is still there.
All right. Well, part 3 in the Philippines. We're going to the Philippines.
You have a passport, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thankfully, yeah. Well, Jim, thank you so much for having us and taking the time on a Friday evening. And, I know you had a long day of work and you're sure you want to be with your family. So really appreciate you having us at your business and
Appreciate
everything.
you for having us.
No,
having
please,
me here,
please,
man.
please. And that's an absolute pleasure. It's been months in the making, probably like a year now. Right? Pretty close.
I was like, yo, Jim.
Yeah. I remember you
Christian
calling
was
me.
like-
I
and the
remember-
craziest thing is I get like I said, they don't even see me in here, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I get drowned
Yeah.
being behind here. And
Right.
there are days that I don't move.
Yeah.
Like today was one of those days.
Yeah.
He barely saw me. I mean, he did leave the barbershop a little bit today, but Mills was like telling me, he's like, damn, man. I'm like, you ate? I'm like, yeah, we ate. I was like, oh, he's forgetful. So
Yeah.
he didn't even remember we had lunch together.
Oh, man. Well, Jim, thank you so much, man.
no.
Really appreciate
No, thank you, man.
I really wish you the best. And I'm super excited to explore and see the future come to you.
I know
many more
the
lights.
future topics. This is the getting to know me part. Wait till y'all get to see the other side.
Oh,
of the
yeah.
show.
I'm sure we could go on for hours on
And,
that.
I would love to have a feature with Brima.
Yeah, let's
Next
do
one.
it. Let's do it. Brima, you have 24 hours to respond. Okay. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this episode of the EP Podcast. As always, if you haven't already, please like, comment, share with your friends, turn on that notification bell. for many more episodes to come. And until then, we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
The biggest investment you'll ever make will be the one that you make in yourself. My name is Emilio Pastor, and you may have seen me as a host of VP podcast where we cover various topics and conversations with entrepreneurs. For the past 2 years, I've been running a personal development organization that covers 4 areas: health, wealth, love, and happiness. At Apex, we host events and workshops that help individuals improve on these areas through various activities, networking opportunities, and educational sessions. Every year, we host our flagship event, our Super Bowl of events, the Summer Summit. Over the span of a weekend, we foster personal and professional growth in a dynamic and engaging environment. In 2022, we did Lewis Beach, Delaware. 2023, we did Tampa, Florida. And this year, 2024, we will be doing Atlantic City, New Jersey. Participants will have the opportunity to delve into key areas: health, wealth, love, happiness, through expert-led sessions and activities. The event will include gourmet meals, vibrant evening socials, and luxury accommodations, all to ensure a holistic and enriching experience. Whether you're looking to enhance your leadership skills, gain strategic insights, or build meaningful relationships, the Summer Summit is a unique opportunity for you to transform your life and connect with like-minded individuals. Look, the year will be over before you know it, and most people go several years without ever investing in themselves. This is an opportunity for you to not be most people. So take a chance. Come this August 23rd through the 25th to Atlantic City, New Jersey, to the Summer Summit at the Claridge Hotel, and grow with us. Bye-bye.